Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to JOA. If you're new to my channel, baby, if you're watching this live, if you are new, please click subscribe and click that bell button so you'll be the first to know when I upload. I really appreciate it if you subscribe. I also want to thank the people that actually signed up on patreon.com/JOA. If y'all don't understand, I'm gonna make y'all understand how hard it is to come up just, with a show with topics. It takes a lot of work. It looks easy, but it's actually a lot of work as well. So I'm going to give you guys a chance to come in. If y'all want to come in at the end of the show, I can send y'all a link to come in into the commentary. So if you want to be on the lookout for that, do so while I eat my food. But that's going to be towards the end of the show. Now, I do realize I lost some subscribers, which is nothing new. I mean, I've lost probably like 70 to 100 before, and I just brushed it off. I'm like, I really don't care. It's not like, I can't. It's not like subscribers matter, which it does in terms of awards, but views is really what matters on YouTube. So the algorithm is always in play. And so I did have a subscriber say I'm not appreciative of my subscribers, and I should be appreciative because that's how your channel grows. I'm like, no, the algorithm, that's how the algorithm works. And then if someone chooses to subscribe or not based on the content that they like, that's how they subscribe. All right. And so I want to just make some adjustments because I could just honestly skip over this and not really care, but I actually do care. I don't look at y'all as my subscribers, all right? I try to be 100% honest with you guys. I look to you guys as if y'all my friends, my family, and a lot of you guys really take what I post on my community page seriously, like too seriously, to the fact where y'all just, say I'm changing or I'm subscribing or, oh, your numbers got you in the head. No, I've always been this way. First of all. Second of all, my numbers aren't even big enough for me to have a big ego. And I would never do that. And number three, no, I don't like Candace Owens. I'm not a fan of Candace Owens. Just because I posted Candace Owens on Mother's Day, that doesn't mean I'm a fan of her. I posted that because I like to sometimes, because I see you guys as my friends and my family. I don't see you guys as numbers. I see you guys as actual people. I don't know what other YouTubers y'all watch, but for me, or TV, whatever, I see you guys as actual people. So I posted her on Mother's Day because I guess you can call it trolling. I thought it was funny. I posted, would you vote Melania Trump as president? Even though I know she can't run because she's not an American, just to see a reaction from you guys. I posted, would you vote Meghan McCain for president? Just to see your reaction. It's because I see you guys as like a friend or a family member I'm just kicking it with. This is how I am in my real life. I like to joke. I like to have fun. Everything is not serious all the time. I do these things so I can take the light out of what's going on in Palestine, what's going on in the news. That's what I like to do. And some of you guys really take it up to just horrible, like really. And yes, I've tried to support her in the past because she is a Black woman. I support anybody that's Black or a person of color because these days diversity on TV still needs to be worked on. Hell, in any industry needs to be worked on. But as I watched her podcast, PargerU on YouTube, she said some things. She had a guy come on that was Muslim, and she said some things about the Muslim religion that I didn't like, or she said some things about the LGBTQIA community that I didn't like, or she just said rhetorics that I disagreed with, and I'm like, you know what, I can't really support someone like this. And plus, her track record is pretty hypocritical. Okay, like you don't get $37,000 from a lawsuit. You and your father, Robert Owens, filed a lawsuit through an attorney, through the NAACP, not through the NAACP. The NAACP gave you $37,000 because at the time when you were in secondary school, high school, a local governor's son called you an N-word on a voicemail. And according to reports, you and your father submitted a lawsuit against that, but yet she went on Joe Rogan and said she didn't care about it. But okay, baby, you took that $38,000. That $37,500 something dollars or whatever it was and some change. You took that money, right? Okay, and then she had that blog picking on Trump's genitalias and picking on Trump's appearances. So like she's a con artist, you know. I don't mind watching her, like in terms of what she says, because I do find her interesting, but that doesn't mean I like her. Number two, just because I agree with a celebrity or a commentator that I don't like, that doesn't mean I like them. I'm not going to be biased. If Meghan McCain, who I highly dislike, or Candace Owens, who I highly dislike, say something that I agree with, I'm going to say I agree with it. We live in a world where if we agree with somebody that we dislike, that we are automatically a traitor, or we're automatically oh, you're pretending, oh, you know, you're really a Republican. No, dog. Like, I know some people in my personal life. Hell, my neighbor across the street, supporter, he's a Trump supporter, okay? That doesn't mean I don't like him. I'm going to want to ask questions. As long as you're not a bigot or a prejudice or anything, I don't care if you're a Trump supporter. I really don't. As long as you're not, I want to know what's for a reason. But 9 times out of 10, these rednecks or whoever that vote for Trump, their rhetoric is communist, socialism. You know, basically they don't know what's going on in politics. They vote that way because that's how they were Trump. Even the younger kids, 9 times out of 10, they say socialism. They don't really have an intelligent response as towards why they chose for Trump. They don't talk anything about his policies, anything about conservative policies. They just say communist, yada, 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 yada. Okay, so I'm open-minded, and I think you guys that watch me needs to be open-minded, and I would hope you would be open-minded as well. So, you know, I just wanted to address that. I know I can see where it can be offensive to post her on Mother's Day, Candace Owens. I can see where that could be offensive. I can also see where it could be offensive when I say, Candace, stick to black stuff. Don't talk about my people. I didn't mean it offensively about saying stick to black stuff. I just meant just stick with that because that's what her brand is on, making black people. She got a damn freaking organization called Blexit. She's trying to recruit black people to join the Conservative Party. That's her brand. That's why I said stick to black stuff. And I can understand why people get offended, but hey, that's her brand. You know, she thinks that that Democrats think black people are stupid. And in a way, she is correct when it comes to that. She thinks that the Democratic Party, Biden, think black people are stupid. And in a way, she's correct. No, not in a way. She's 100% correct because the Democratic Party do think Biden thinks black people are stupid. That's 100%. That's correct. You know, that's what he thinks. Okay. So I just wanted to clear that. It's been 7 minutes. I just want to say, like, you know, people unsubscribe. They tell me to unsubscribe months ago, and I see random other people that say they unsubscribed months ago in my mentions. So, I mean, I'm not really worried about that. I just want to say that I talk to y'all like I know you guys. I don't talk to you guys as if you're just a subscription and I need to be polished so you can say subscribe. I told y'all that's not who I am. That's not what I do. So I also want to start off the situation where I want to say free my people. And I hear y'all tell me, don't talk about black relations. Don't talk about black people. Don't talk. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But if there's a story on The View that I disagree with from Meghan McCain when it comes to people of color, black issues, because mind you, the things that black people go through is what people of color go through as well. You know, today, currently, I can only speak within my 28 years. What y'all go through is what I go through as well. Okay, so y'all may have a little bit more, like I may get followed, but y'all may get stopped by a police officer. You see what I mean? But we have some commonalities. You see what I mean? So I want to start off by saying my country. You know what I mean? This is what it was, and this is what it is towards the end with the green polka dots. All right, and and I had a subscriber simply telling me, "Why is he now talking about Palestine, baby? I've been Palestinian for 28 years. Okay, within my 28 years of life, this is my first time I ever see the talks about Palestine. This is the first time I see the likings of Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, AOC, Andre Carson, Ayanna Pressley, probably some other people that I didn't mention as well, testifying from the Congress telling them, hey, $3.8 billion of American tax money is funding Israel. And that funding right there is a part of apartheid has been going on 73 years. We're not going to continue this lip service here. Like, stuff needs to be happening. So this is the first time in 28 years. And yes, of course, I'm going to talk about it. Of course, I haven't talked about it in the past, but I have said I'm Palestinian in the past. I've said that in my previous workplace where I worked that were Trump supporters, that was white owned, that were prejudiced, that I went through. So this is the first time within my 28 years I've seen this whole masses of Palestine being supported by different people. And I'm happy that's actually going on. So yes, of course, I'm going to talk about it, and if y'all don't want me to talk Black Lives Matter, that's fine. I'm fine with just talking about my people. But then again, I'm not like y'all. Like if it's a story where Meghan McCain is wrong, and I'm not saying all y'all, because I got some Black people like Miss Queen and all that, and Miss J and everybody that say keep doing what you're doing. But I get what's Mr. Torres in comments like, this woman has been Palestinian, and the laws were different when she was born. Okay, it was called Palestine. It wasn't called Israel. Okay, so like it says in the map, I'm older than your state. And I talked to one of my relatives in Palestine. She lives in Ramallah, Palestine, which is I told her she got the money territory. That's what I told her. But she did tell me she heard some rockets and stuff, but she doesn't live in the area that's being reported on the news. Sheikh Jarrah Ali's from what I know, 40,000 plus. I'm going to say probably 80,000, probably doubled. Palestinians are homeless. A lot of these homes were bombarded by the Israeli military, and Biden needs to do something about it. And this is the reason why I didn't vote. I wrote in my community page, I didn't vote for Biden. Well, I didn't vote for him because I knew this was going to happen. I already knew. And my relative told me, she's like, Jay, dude, every single president of the United States of America has always been pro-Israel. There's United States in general is pro-Israel, and I had to stop her. I'm like, no. I told her no, Khalti, which means like Khalti is like no, like in other words, you say Aunt Becky or Aunt June, whatever. Khalti is just like a suffix. I'm like, no, that's not true. There's people in America, not, Biden, maybe you're correct on that, but there's people like Bernie Sanders, there's Linda Sarsour, there's Ariana Presley, there's Ilhan Omar. Let's not give up. Martin Luther King did not give up on Black people. Let's not give up on America towards Palestinians. We can't put them all in the microscope. Yes, Biden is pro-Israel. Yes, there's videos in the past of Biden saying if there was no Israel, he would create, Israel should be created. And his father told him he doesn't have to be Jewish to be a Zionist. So I told her, yes, Biden, you may be correct on that, but it's not everyone in the past. And I told her I'm upset about him because he is talking to a crook. Whenever there's communication that needs to be in line in Israel, he's talking to a crook, the prime minister of Israel. So yes, I am pissed off. And that's the reason why I did not vote for him. And I'm going to even say this, had Trump actually had a real Middle Eastern peace deal, despite this pandemic, I would have voted for Trump. Of course, I would have voted for him. I 100% would have voted for Trump if that Middle Eastern peace deal was legit. Despite everything that went on in America, I would vote for him because every single president that we had before Biden, before Trump, before Obama, everybody, it's always been chaos towards the Palestinian community. So despite the pandemic, whatever, hell yeah, I would have voted for Trump 100%. No doubt about it. I would have stand in that line. Had that Middle Eastern peace deal been legit. But I knew it wasn't legit before the blogs and before the celebrities are now talking about, oh, I thought Jared Kushner made peace in the Middle East. And that pisses me off when I read that because a lot of Americans here are lazy. They don't read. And this is the reason why people in Europe and people overseas in my country, they look at us as if we're stupid. Because when I'm reading people who are pro-Palestine, but they're talking about Jared Kushner actually not making peace in the Middle East. I'm like, you dumb asshole. You should have known that already. Like, come on now. So that offends me right there when I see that. So, I already told y'all that the statement out the White House came out about Biden saying that Israel needs to defend themselves. And I told y'all that, there's a tweet about Biden right now on Twitter that I took, and it says, Biden goes, today the president spoke with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, reaffirmed his strong support for Israel's right to defend itself against rocket attacks from Hamas and other T groups in Gaza and condemned these indiscriminate attacks against Israel. Ben Norton, who's a journalist, quote tweeted this and says, Joe Biden just gave a green light to the Israeli apartheid regime to continue massacring Palestinians trapped in the Gaza prison camp with U.S. weapons and military aid. Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter who's in the White House. U.S. support from apartheid Israel doesn't change, and he's right. Republican and Democrat, doesn't matter who's in the White House. U.S. support for apartheid Israel doesn't change, and that's exactly what my relative was talking to me about in Palestine. And I told her, I do agree with you, but there's actually people right now who's speaking in front of Congress, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, so on and so forth, that's talking about Palestinian matters. And, you know, don't get me on Miss Willie Brown. You know, I know y'all get mad for calling me her that, but she's Miss Willie Brown. Yes, she got a law degree. Yes, she's educated. But I mean, she did date to the top. And I would be lying to you if I said she didn't. Willie Brown was a high political figure in California. She dated Montel Williams, celebrity. So you can't lie to me and say that this woman didn't, that part of that dating did not get her to where she is today. Come on now. And I know politics is a dirty game, okay? Like, one of her strong points during the Democratic debates was getting on Biden towards his 1994 crime bill. So, like, I understand she was trying at that time, Kamala Harris, to position herself to be in a high category during that debate. And she said some true stuff. So, I mean, I know politics is a dirty game, but I just can't see you saying what you said to him on the stage and actually working with him. So, I mean, I know people can change, but I mean, if what you meant is what you said on the debate, I can't really fathom how you can work with somebody like that. This is why I can't be a lawyer, because a lot of lawyers are evil as hell. Trust me, I know some. And this is why I can't be a politician, you know, because nowadays, if you want to be a politician, I mean, at least if you want to be this kind of politician, you have to be a little bit of an evil. You know what I mean? So I can't support that. And at least Miss Willie Brown, I'm not even going to call Miss Willie Brown niece. I'm going to say her name. Mina Harris actually spoke out. That's Kamala Harris' niece, beautiful woman. She spoke out against the situation in Palestine. She said, one cannot advocate for racial equality, LGBT, and women's rights, condemning corrupt and abusive regimes and other injustices, yet choose to ignore the Palestinian oppression. It does not add up. So at least Mina Harris, I'm sorry, I call her Willie Brown, but Mina Harris, at least she had the courage to speak on what is right, rather than her aunt, Kamala Harris, Miss Willie Brown, did not even have the courage to speak out on the Palestinian issue. She didn't even have the courage to speak out on Black issues. She said that systemic racism doesn't exist in the United States of America. So, I mean, I'm not surprised if she doesn't speak out, you know, against this issue. So this is why I can never be, me personally, I can never be enamored with the TV world, celebrity world, because I'm not all about that fake BS stuff. And I know a lot of y'all want to come on and want to say stuff, but y'all got to wait until towards the end, because I'm going to keep going. And then whatever commentary y'all want to do throughout the video, I'm going to have y'all an opportunity to come on. And speaking of fake BS, this woman here, fake BS. All right. So first of all, this woman, Miss Beverly Smith, whose book I've never bought a book unless I was required to buy a book. And the last time I bought a book was in high school when we did summer reading. And baby, I didn't even do the summer reading. Like I went on, y'all know what y'all do. Y'all go on Google and y'all go on to this synopsis of what the book is about. I'm not about to read the whole book during the summer. Come on now. Summer reading my ass. So like I bought her book, and I haven't bought a book in like over a decade, you know, because I was interested in Beverly Smith's story. You know, I actually was interested how she left 2 high-paying figure jobs. She worked for Vi magazine, then she went to Rolling Stone magazine, and she went to radio. So she's in the industry that I'm interested in, you know, doing radio and television. So I bought her book, right? And then the whole Nichelle Turner situation came out, right? When Nichelle Turner being the first Black anchor on Entertainment Tonight, Oprah came out and congratulated her. So did Oprah's puppet. What's her name? Gayle King came out and congratulated her and stuff. And then so I wrote congratulations, I guess, ? Do you think this is damage control by CBS? And that's when the talk had their little situation, all right, with Cheryl Underwood and Sharon Osbourne, and it just kept getting worse from there. And I personally thought that it could have been damage control because they promoted her, or at least it came out publicly right after the situation with the talk happened. So then this chick gonna get into the Twitter post talking about, Nichelle Turner don't entertain these fools. And y'all remember I did that story. So then I replied, I was like, to even think about your book, you know, Beverly Smith, didn't say sorry, didn't say like, I apologize for calling you for a fool, but all she said was, you know, we need to stick with hosts that are people of color, Blacks, and so on and so forth, you know. And I was never minimizing Nichelle Turner's capabilities. I was just certainly saying, y'all know what goes on at CBS. Y'all know what went on with Les Moonves and his wife Julie Chen. Y'all know the situation. Y'all know the situation that happened at ABC. Y'all know what goes on in these networks. So of course, publicly, they want to have one face, and privately, they want to have the right-wing supremacist Fox News face. You know. So anyways, over time, she didn't block me, whatever. And then she made a post the other day saying, oh, a lot of y'all virtual stars are going to be losing viewers. So I took that as shade, So then I wrote, she was like, a lot of y'all virtual stars, can stay home. Y'all going to be losing viewers. I'm about to go out and about and stuff. This is like the day before the CDC came out saying that you can be maskless for the most case if you're fully vaccinated. So then she blocked me, but I could still look at your Twitter page when you block me. I have ways. Someone wrote, I've been waiting for you to block his ASS, and she called me a narcissist. She needs to look up what the definition of a narcissist is, because I'm not a narcissist, simply because I told you to apologize for calling me rude because you were in the wrong. That doesn't mean I'm a narcissist. I'm not the one to have an Instagram page that says Google me, baby. Baby, I've been Googleable since I was a kid. My name is so distinct. I've been Googleable before I could, but I'm so humble. I'm not going to tell somebody to Google me. You know what I mean? When you have Google me, baby, on your Instagram bio, that means you're a nobody, right? That means you're not really high on there. And then she had the audacity to say, I told her, man, I thought, you seem cool, and direct, you're a Wendy fan. She goes, oh, I'm not a Wendy fan. I'm a colleague. Baby, you're on Wendy's show once a season whenever Wendy does a styling squad. Whenever she talks about the Golden Globes, which has been canceled, or whenever she talks about the Oscars, which nobody watches, and they talk about the styling squad, and that's when you're on the show. You know what I mean? So you're call yourself a colleague, okay, once a season maybe, but a lot of these celebrities, when they get up there, they like to tout like they highbrow, and she's trying to tout like she high. Well, she's low key trying to tout that she's highbrow, but at the same time, she thinks she has principles when she works for a man that has been snipping that powder behind the scenes. If y'all know what Kathy Griffin said on Wendy Williams, so you can't go from acting like you all goody two shoes, but then work for somebody that's high on that crack on Sirius XM allegedly. I didn't say his name, so I don't gotta say it. Y'all know who I'm talking about. So yeah, so you can't be doing that. And then again, I'm like I said, you're not even high up there. You want to win an EGOT, but you can't sing, you can't act. And then you want to, I thought she was British at first, because she extravaganza. You know how she talk? I was like, where the hell is this woman from? She's from Harlem, New York. Why is she talking like that? Why is she talking like she's from Britain or whatever? You know what I mean? So, and then again, she wants to tout as if going from Rolling Stone magazine to where she is now wasn't hard. You had connections. She went on Wendy talking about her plight from going from working for Rolling Stone, working for Vibe magazine, making $6-figure plus a year, collecting $50,000 commission checks, as she said in her book, was hard to go from what she was doing at Vibe, Rolling Stone, towards TV and radio. Necessarily, it wasn't hard. You was kicking it with Tupac, you was kicking it with Biggie, you knew Diddy, you knew a lot of people, and then you had a friend that knew Andy Cohen, and that's how you got it. So technically, it wasn't hard. You can't relate your story to Wendy's story. Wendy didn't know nobody. Okay, Wendy got to where she got by hustling for 30-something years. All right, 35 plus years. I don't know anybody. I didn't work for a Vibe or Rolling Stone. I don't have connections in the celebrity world like she did. So stop trying to tout going from radio to going from magazine to radio TV is hard. Now I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes it's not about who you know. Sometimes it's also about who you know and who's reliable. So I'm sure maybe she had a challenge, but she had a connection. She had a friend that knew Andy Cohen. So I don't think it was that difficult for her to get to where she was. If it was me, if I was going from Rolling Stone and Vibe, and I didn't know, and if I didn't kick it with Diddy or whoever, which I would never do that. I'm like, how you doing? Or I would have probably 8 years until I get to where she's at career wise. You see what I mean? Hell, I'm still not where I want to be. You know what I mean? Hell, 33. I'm not where I want to be. So like, yeah, her career is she acting too highbrow, like as if she Oprah or whatever, but she's not. And that's all I want to say about her. Next story. I want to give a shout out to this woman. Sonny Hostin is the only woman on The View with some sense, right? Now, I do have respect for Joy Behar. I do have respect for Whoopi. When horny man, what's his name, Bill O'Reilly, who career now is over because he allegedly, did what he did to them females allegedly behind the scenes. When he went on The View back in 2000, like early 2000s, and says Muslims did 911 and Whoopi and Joy walked off the stage. I've always had respect, despite of how I feel about them, despite how I say Whoopi's an elitist and Joy is low-key prejudiced. I had respect for them ever since then. You know what I mean? Because rarely do you see two iconic hosts on mainstream television defend the Muslim religion. First of all, it was wrong for him to say that, and it was untrue. And it was offensive. So I'm glad they did what they did, despite how Barbara Walters felt talking about we don't want. Nah, dog, what he said was wrong. And now look at his career. Bill O'Reilly's career is messed up. Okay, it's not the career that it used to be. All right, so I always had respect, and I have respect for this woman because when they had Joe Lieberman on the show, Meghan McCain's best friend, who's pro-Israel, obviously. Sonny Hostin was the only host that actually spoke about facts, that actually told and had a question that Joe Lieberman didn't answer about 500 civilians being pushed out their homes in the village Sheikh Jarrah, by the Jews, during Ramadan, and literally the scope of this happens was towards the end of Ramadan and Eid, which is like, I guess I can call it the Muslims' Christmas, was literally like 2-3 days ahead. A lot of Muslims, they didn't enjoy their celebration of Ramadan because of the situation. Of course, it's been going on for 73 years. But like it's the rockets and the missiles and destroying Al Jazeera so people can't report the facts on the news. This is a very common thing in Israel. When you go there, a lot of these people on the border, they don't want you to take pictures. They don't want you to you're not allowed to have your phone on, no cameras, nothing, okay? Because they don't want the people in mainstream media to know the truth. And a lot of them know the truth, like CNN, but they have their biasness. So I thank Sonny for asking him that question, number one, and I follow her on Twitter. I thank her for also retweeting tweets, about being pro-Palestine and stuff. And what I like about this woman is that she exposed the network despite having like putting her big job on the line. Like she thought she was going to be fired. So I'm always going to have respect for Sonny Hostin no matter what. Like after that whole situation happened, I'm going to have respect for this woman point blank in the period, because out of all the hosts, she's the only host that actually asked a question. Whoopi's very general and but I have respect for her. No matter what, I was kind of feeling some type of way because she didn't want to do an interview with me. But anyways, I have respect for what I don't have respect for is this woman right here talking about every single Democrat in Congress should have to answer if they agree with Ocasio-Cortez that Israel is an apartheid state. Like, who the hell gave Meghan McCain the authority, the art history major, to talk about social issues, to talk about what every member of Congress in the Democratic Party got to answer to if they're Israeli apartheid or not? Y'all got like this girl needs help. Okay, y'all say a lot of shit about me, but she don't have no life experience. She doesn't know how it feels to be homeless. She doesn't know how it feels to pay paycheck to paycheck. There's a lot of stuff overseas that goes on that here in America we take granted for. If I fall in love as a Palestinian, take away the American way, take away the American. If I fall in love with somebody across the border, that's illegal. I can't get married. I can't be seen with them. Nothing. If I'm just Palestinian. Of course, if I'm Palestinian American, I can travel all over. But if I'm just Palestinian, I can't fall in love with somebody across the border. This is a Romeo and Juliet type of ish. This is 1700s type of British literature. Like the way they are treated now currently is something that you would watch in a movie from the 1800s. All right. They have, water here in America, as long as you pay your water bill, you have unlimited water supply here. They have limited water, okay? They have tanks attached to their homes, all right? You know, the schools that you can go to here in America, I mean, you may have to pay a lot of money, you know, but at least you have the opportunity. You don't have the opportunity there in Palestine. You know, you have limited schooling. You have horrible schooling, you know, limited hospitalizations. Like if you are in Palestinian territory and you need to see like a doctor, like a specific kind of doctor that's not in your territory, you need to have permission to cross that border, right? Housing. So when I hear Black people say, why do Black people need to be involved or need to be for something that's going on overseas? First of all, you sound like a damn Republican. You sound like you lack empathy. You lack sympathy. Second of all, the stuff that they go through in the different industries that I just listed is the things that your ancestors and currently you go through currently right now. That a woman on Fox crying. I think it was on Fox or some news media. She was crying because she had her house appraised twice. A Black woman. She had her appraised one time with all her Black culture on frames and everything, and she got her house appraised for $100,000 less. Then she took everything off. She had her white friend sitting there appraised. She took everything that hints you that a Black person stayed here off, and that house was worth $100,000 more. And she is suing. This is why they have Fair Housing Act. She is suing. You know, she was crying, and I felt bad for her. So for Black people, some Black people, not all, because I said the Black community in my Twitter thread, and on my community page, and in the headline I wrote Black people. Like I am more offended when I see a Black person say why they should get involved or why should they care when they have problems here, because what goes on over there is interconnected what goes on over here. I tell Black people this all the time. It's not that Biden care about y'all. It's the fact that he know within 30 years a president hasn't became president without the Black vote. That's just facts. 30 years. So he knows he has no choice but to fall in line with the Black community. Well, he has no choice to fall in line. I'm not going to say fall in line with the Black community because that sounds toxic. I'm going to say he has no choice to fall in line with what is right, because throughout most of his career, he's been doing what is wrong, right? So and I tell Black people this a lot in my personal life. I tell them it's not like they care. It's that because now, after 400 years, y'all got this powerful voice. Still needs to be worked on. Certain things still need to be worked on with Black relations, but it's like they have no other choice. Like, in my opinion, social media has pros and cons, but social media has ignited that. The same way within my 28 years, this is like my first week I've seen a Palestinian movement as it is now within my 28 years of living. You see what I mean? So I tell Black people this all the time. It's not like Biden care about y'all. It's the fact that he has no choice, because look what he's doing now. He knows what's going on in Palestine. He knows the situation. He's been with Obama for 8 years. He knows what's going on. He's been in politics. He knows, but yet he is still talking to a criminal. Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter who's in the White House. U.S. support for apartheid Israel doesn't change. Republican, Democrat, had y'all been a low disparity like the Palestinians, y'all would have been in the same shoes that Palestinians are in right now. That's just point blank truth, all right? So don't sit here and tell me Biden changed or Biden is this. In my opinion, he is no different than a Donald Trump. We're talking to the Prime Minister, Netanyahu, okay? All right. And I remember when Trump was president, he asked the Prime Minister, so you think I would have done a better job my next 4 years? Let's say Biden is not president. You think, I've done a better job, we're talking to you with this Middle Eastern peace plan. Netanyahu didn't say nothing, of course, because he was on the phone. He was on record. But that's the situation, right? All of these presidents, Clinton, Bush the father, Bush the son, I'm going to put Obama on the damn ticket too. Obama, Biden, and the list before the Bush son and Bush father, they're all of them. Israel has always been an ally to the United States. And a lot of people who I talked at that grocery store where I faced racism, this white host said that first I was like, say, so what is your stance towards? She was like, oh, what is yours? And I was like, no, I know what your stance is because you voted for Trump. She's like, how did you know it? I was like, because I know. She's like, well, baby, I'm for the Bible. I'm pro-Israel. You for that fake Bible. Okay, that fake Bible has been edited so many times. All right. See, a lot of people, they want to bring up the Bible when it comes to LGBTQIA issues, when it comes to Israel issues. But that Bible is fake, number one. Number two, a lot of people that bring up that Bible have sex all the time before marriage. They commit sins, you know, a whole bunch of sins that the Bible says don't commit sins, but yet they want to throw in the Bible when it's beneficial towards their rhetoric. And that's what it is, right? And so when I hear people tell me that this man, this Lord Voldemort, no feeling, looking evil, looking man, he look evil, y'all. When y'all hear him talking on CNN or on any stations, this man has no facial expressions. He looks just like he looks at this picture and he just talks, okay? All right, he's a nepotism, okay? His father allegedly is a criminal as well. And no, I don't hate him because he's Jewish. I hate him because he's a nepotist, all right? I hate him because he's evil. I hate him because he has a lack of integrity. He's dishonest. This is why I hate the man, all right? You have this man, this damn fucking man, going overseas, talking to prime ministers, all right? Now, these people right here in the two pics with the abaya over their heads, these people are from Saudi Arabia, all right? So, let me tell you, Trump, he loves Saudi Arabia, all right? With the Trump hotels and the money, like Saudi Arabia is the richest Middle Eastern country, okay? You can't compare, all right? The richest. I'm gonna put Dubai on the map as well, but they got money, all right? So when you go overseas and you talk to these people who behead the LGBTQIA community, who don't allow women to travel. Well, that's been lifted since that woman escaped from Saudi Arabia, but that's another story. Who can drive, which I heard has been lifted when that woman escaped from Saudi Arabia and went viral, but that's another story, like I said before. Who a lot of people say have the Sharia law. And the Sharia law, which is a very controversial topic to discuss. I personally don't agree with it because I feel that, you know, Saudi Arabia, which is prominently a Muslim, you know, a Muslim country, they use the Quran, they use religion as a way of life. I personally understand it because I was raised that way. You know, I have a sibling, I have a sister, and I understand it. But Americans don't. I disagree with it though, because in a way, I personally feel like if a woman wants to drive, she should drive, which, like I said, has been lifted from my knowledge. Or if a woman wants to travel, she shouldn't be given permission from her guardian to travel. You know, she shouldn't be accompanied by somebody. Has to have somebody with her to travel. You know, of course, over there, schools are separate, like it is here in the mosque. In a mosque, in a Muslim, a lot of you guys know what a mosque is, right? It's a sacred place where Muslims pray. Women and men are separate. The woman is upstairs, men is downstairs. The schools down there, from what I know, they're separate. All right. But I don't agree with Saudi Arabia at all. I don't agree with the Sharia law. Sharia law is seen as a high stigma here in America. But like I said, I understand it because I grew up in a Muslim household. And it's basically the ways of life of a Muslim, how a Muslim lives according to the Quran. You know, you don't date. You fast for Ramadan. You have an arranged marriage. You don't drink alcohol. You don't eat pork. If you're a woman, you know, you basically, you know, like I said, you can't date, you can't party, you can't go to clubs. You can't be westernized, basically, you know, and that's, to them, that is like riding a bicycle. All right. That's very common and very normal. And to me, I see that as normal because, like I said, I grew up in a household. I personally don't agree that. This is where I guess I'm Americanized. If a woman does not want to abide by that religion, then she has there's going to be a situation where she can be beheaded. You see what I mean? Like, if she doesn't want to live the lifestyle of a Muslim woman, then there's going to be a situation where she can possibly be beheaded or imprisoned or tortured or whatever. Okay. You know, if y'all want to look up Rahaf, whatever her name is, Muhammad, 18 years old, that left Saudi Arabia because, you know, her brother and her mother wanted her to get married and she didn't want to. Come to find out she was a lesbian. So, like, that's another story. Like, that's not allowed there as well. And so that's what I don't agree with. So anyways, back to Jared Kushner. So, but they love Saudi Arabia despite their laws. Oh, they may not agree with it, but they love their money, all right? This man is going overseas. Mind you, he has no degree in politics, no degree in international diplomacy, Nothing, no experience, nothing whatsoever. This man going overseas talking to prime ministers, not just Saudi Arabia and UAE, United Arab Emirates, and gets Trump and Kim Klacik, the black woman from Baltimore. They want to blame the Democrats for Baltimore being the way it is. Well, baby, let me tell you something. This man here has 10,000 units in Baltimore. They're all rats infested, mold infested, okay? So he is a high reason why Baltimore is what it is. He has a management company, and I don't give a damn. During the time he was in the White House for the past 4 years, his name was attached to the company. You can't have a mold damn infested units, and y'all want to talk about Baltimore being bad? He is the reason why. Look at that. Look at the cracks. Look at this. Look at this. And one person I interviewed actually gotten this. Look, hold on. That's another story. But look at this. You see that? Look at this, y'all. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. He owns 10,000 units in Baltimore, right? And a lot of them, they're rat infested, they're mold infested, they're horrible. But yet he wants to go overseas in my territory. He wants to go overseas in a different territory, not even his territory, a different religion, different culture, different laws, different everything, and talk about a Middle Eastern peace deal. Are you serious? Like, the only peace he got is peace up his ass. That's the only thing he got. Peace and money up his ass. That's the only thing he got from that peace deal, all right? So when I see on Twitter, when I see on social media from people who are pro-Palestine, but who keeps freaking damn tweeting, oh, I thought Jared Kushner made a Middle Eastern deal. I thought Jared Kushner made a Middle Eastern peace deal. That offends me. I don't care if you're anti him, but that, because the fact that it took y'all this long to realize that there wasn't actually peace is highly offensive towards me as a Palestinian. That's offensive. All right. Okay, so like don't come at me with, well, he didn't know what he was doing. He don't know what he's doing at all. All right. If you got homes looking like this, and one of the women I interviewed, the woman that told Trump, stop, let me finish, sir, Dr. Alicia Black, she lived in one of them homes, all right? And another thing is, during the pandemic, his management company allegedly sent out rent evictions while there was a halt on evictions because a lot of people were out of jobs and couldn't pay payments. Jared Kushner has a lot of consumer violation laws. That came out in the media as well. You know what I mean? So don't be going overseas to countries and telling your bullshit and talking about and entering territory that you don't know nothing about that's been going on for 73 plus years. And yet you have a whole damn units in Baltimore that in America that's full of mold and rats. Like, don't be doing that. That's just crazy to me. All right. So speaking of some places in the Middle East that are for LGBTQ, I want to give a shout out. And I told y'all, I didn't tell you on Twitter, I was like, this is a distraction. I understand a lot of countries, Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, they're not for the LGBT community. There's a man, his name's Ali Reza Munfarid. He was trying to leave Iran because he wanted to live the life that he wanted to live. He was a gay guy. He liked to put makeup on. And I think it was like several days, like less than a week for him to actually get that approved for him to leave. I think he was going to Europe. And then after that, when he reached Europe, he was going to apply somewhere else. And people like Demi Lovato, tweeted out her condolences and stuff. But like few days before he got the approval to leave Iran, his half brothers, half cousins, like somebody on his relative side told him, hey, we want to give you a ride. Your father wants to speak to you. They end up killing him, So I want to give a shout out, to him. I'm sorry, that happened to you. That's one thing I do not agree with. Kind of another reason why I question the Muslim religion. I mean, I know there's Muslims, and like I said, till this day, I get surprised, like with Ilhan Omar, who I love, Rashida Tlaib, Tahani Abushi, who's running for district attorney in New York. I get surprised when I hear a Muslim saying they're pro-LGBTQ because that's just not how I grew up. So, I mean, it could be for business reasons. I even told Lamont Hill that, Dr. Lamont Hill, and he liked it. But, we all know when it comes down to the T that it's not accepted in a Muslim community. So I want to give my condolences to him. And it's a sad story. I posted on Twitter. It was trending during the time of the whole Palestinians. And like, I was questioning the story, not questioning his story, but questioning the trending of that story, because this goes on a lot. I'm not going to say a lot because it's under wraps in the Middle East. A lot of them, they don't, they're private about it, but it's the timing is off when this thing is going on in Palestine, but yet you want to have a story about this trend about Iran, which is on a whole different other side of Palestine and Jordan and stuff like that. So I kind of thought it was a distraction, and it's something that Meghan McCain would use as to why Palestinians, which she has used on Twitter, why Palestinians should go through what they want to go through, because she did say, oh, Gaza kills gays or something on Twitter, and that pissed me off. You know what I mean? So, condolences to him, and I'm sorry that happened to him, and it's a very sad story. It's highly sad. All right, so I want to move on to another topic, and like I said, whenever I come to the end, y'all can come on, and I'm gonna get my food if y'all want to come on and talk and tell me what y'all think and so on and so forth. But I want to talk about this woman here. All right, so this woman is playing the victim card. She is playing the victim card. Ellen DeGeneres is mad because after 18 years of her show, going on 19, that she finally got exposed of the woman who she really is. And Wendy Williams, who was on her show back in 2013, 2014, she was on her twice, actually said she did not have a good time on the Ellen show. She did not have a good time. A fan did say that she lied earlier on when she was on that show saying she had a good time. But Wendy said, y'all saw that I didn't have a good time. So y'all understand if y'all don't understand the whole disposition with Wendy and Ellen, and then I'm going to get to why Ellen is playing victims, because back in the day before YouTube, Wendy was on a red carpet and she outed Portia de Rossi because Portia was on a magazine kissing a girl. It was on YouTube. It was taken down. Wendy just went up to her and asked her about the picture. And then Portia just ran off from the red carpet. So anyways, Wendy was on the show the first time, and you can tell that Ellen was being very just condescending and rude and mean, but yet you invited her to your show. Like, okay, but yet you're saying that all your guests have a good time, but you were mean to a woman who was asking a question from a damn magazine, okay? Like, Wendy saw that in the magazine, all right? All right, so, but yet you're saying that your guests have a good time. So Wendy simply said she did not have a good time. So this woman here actually did an interview with the Today Show, Savannah Guthrie, and I'm mad at Savannah because Savannah is usually like a hardcore journalist. I remember when she was interviewing Omarosa, and she was very hard on her. But when she was interviewing this woman here, so you could tell it was on some white privilege shit. Savannah was very easy on her, very just like laid back, as if she was in her house eating popcorn, like together on the couch. Very easy on her, very easy. All right. So I tell people this all the time. This woman here feels betrayed. She feels betrayed. I'm going to tell you two reasons why she feels betrayed. Number one, when she was an actress on that show and she came out the closet, she was on Time Magazine, right? And then she lost her career. She got blackballed, okay? And then all of a sudden she gets this talk show and she uses this mantra, be kind to one another, which I always thought was a fallacy because at the end of the day, she's a lesbian, right? And I always separate white, lesbian, LGBTQIA people from people of color and black people because they still get privilege. You can hide your gayness, okay? You can hide it. You can probably even hide that you're transgender because a lot of times you can't really tell, all right? You can hide all of that, but you can't hide being black. You can't hide being a person of color. You can't go from Rachel Dolezal, how she is, to how she's trying to look, okay? You can't do that. So Ellen, being a white woman, she has privilege, right? So she felt betrayed when she got blackballed. And she certainly felt betrayed when this story came out in 2020 about there being a bad workplace environment, about a lot of black women coming forward to BuzzFeed anonymously and talking about the racism behind the scenes, about the 3 producers who were fired because allegedly for sexual misconduct and for allegedly threatening employees, saying if you go to HR, you'll get fired, and actually trying to give out prizes to people for oral sex, allegedly, right? And so this woman here, within 18 years of her show, this woman is saying that she did not know, she couldn't know that there was bad situations behind the scenes because she couldn't tell with there being 250 plus employees. Baby, let me tell you why this bitch lying. She is a liar because remember that black Nigerian DJ she had before she had Twitch? Even that DJ came out saying that it was a bad work environment. And that was Ellen's DJ, okay? He came out saying that, all right? So do not tell me that you didn't know. This bitch had the audacity to say that I can take one shot or two shots, bad from people that watch me, but this was 4 months. This was orchestrated. This was misogyny. I need her to look up misogyny because you are a woman, yes, but you are one of the most powerful women in the talk show game. If in general in the world, 18 years of you being highly respected, when literally a lot of people for so many years knew the person who you really are, but it finally got out in the media when people came forward. So don't use that misogyny line because they did. They got Oprah. Oprah is still relevant. People question her with the Harvey Weinstein stuff. I do. Harvey Weinstein, Oprah, like I do, which is why I'm not a fan. But you can't tell me that. Don't use the misogyny word. Don't say because you're a woman. All right, stop. She can't say because she's black or she a person of color because obviously she's not. But if she had the opportunity to use it, she would have used that. But she used misogyny and she's orchestrated. All right, there's countless of people, countless of celebrities that say that Ellen is mean, but it was never out in the media. It was always swept under the rug because she gives so much money to Warner Brothers. She gives so much money to for philanthropy, and the only reason why she uses that mantra, be kind to one another, and I've said this since day one, is because she's gay. That's the only reason why. She is using self-projection, positive self-projection, by being nice, by donating to people, by donating to homeless people, by donating to low-income families, by having this mantra to be nice to one another because she's a gay woman. And she knew from losing her career when she came out of the closet, she had to market herself as something different so her gayness could not be the main positioning of her brand. And that's just true, all right? So you can't tell me you did not know within 18 years. I got people that I know in my personal life that know this woman, and I'm speaking facts, that say she is a snob, that says she is cliquish, that I got people that know this woman before she got, that I heard, before she got famous. Before Ellen got famous, all right? Like, I don't know if I'm going to do a video on it because I got some information on it as well. Like, she used to, Ellen used to date this person in this band. It's not a famous band, but it's a famous local band. And a lot of people that I know said that because she's from New Orleans. She went to my school. She dropped out college. A lot of people said she's a snob, that she's cliquish. She's mean, And there was a person that I talked about in my last live. He came forward. He has a great job. He's not clout chasing. This is his first time actually speaking about it publicly, that Ellen was rude to him. I talked about this already. If y'all want to go back to the other live, this man right here, he talked about his story on the Daily Mail. I reached out to him. He didn't want to talk to me. He just told me he's not taking interview requests. Ellen was rude to him. Ellen called him fat. I'm not going to go over the whole story. That's the situation with Ellen. She has privilege. And lastly, what I'm going to say about her is, this is why you got privilege. And this is why I separate white gay people, white LGBTQIA people from black people, people of color. This woman had this scandal out for 4 months, and it was a huge scandal, right? Like literally a brand destroyer, okay? Brand destroyer. Like, I got a marketing degree. Like, I know what I'm talking about. Like, and this is why her white privilege overpowered that. Steve Harvey was number 5 on this talk show, right? Number 4. He was number 4. When that whole scandal came out about Ellen DeGeneres, she was number 5. She was below Kelly and Ryan, like Ryan DLS and Kelly Ripa. She was below them in the talk show game, and that never happened before within her 18 years on that show. Never. Okay, number 5. Steve Harvey was number 4, but then he invited a person that is seen as difficult in the entertainment industry. And that is Monique. When they had that big discussion, y'all know that interview was an hour, but Steve Harvey, playing Lion Game, said he was trying to protect Monique, when in reality, he was really trying to protect himself, because there were things in that video that he said that were offensive, but we heard some of those offensive innuendos on that YouTube video saying, man, we black out here. Your husband can't come out here and flex the way he want to flex and stuff like that, and saying, well, he has to play the game. You have to know the rules of the game. Well, in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinion who's in the media industry, that's black or a person of color, that rhetoric got him fired from his show. Not only one show, but 2 shows. But yet his show was very popular. He was number 4. He lost his talk show to Kelly Clarkson, and then he lost the Little Big Shot show to actress Melissa McCarthy. But yet, this white woman here is number 5, a 4-month scandal, multiple allegations from Black women behind the scenes about racial discrimination. And yes, your name's on the show, but that doesn't mean that you weren't a part of it. You told people you don't want people to look at you, and you denied that. Don't sit here and lie and say you didn't tell people not to look at you, girl. Come on now. I used to be a background in movies and big movies and stuff. And that's the thing a production tells you all the time. Do not look at the actresses, actors. Don't look at the talent unless they talk to you. Don't talk to them. Don't look at them. So don't sit here and lie and tell me that you did not know within the 18 years of your show that the producers, you didn't know that producers told low production that, because that's a very common thing that you would tell an upcoming person in the entertainment industry, that rhetoric. And she knows that. Ellen knows that. So don't sit here and lie. So no, it wasn't orchestrated. No, it wasn't misogyny. Your true colors showed out. I didn't even know you had a brother until the other day, DeGeneres. DeGeneres, of course, he's going to defend his sister. Like he needs her payroll. Like he wanted her career, but I guess he didn't get lucky like she did. Talented guy, I'm sure, but of course he's going to defend his sister. But, when this man comes out, when celebrities come forward, when people behind the scenes come forward, they're not all lying. They're not all lying about it. Hell, I know personally that she's a bitch. You know what I mean? So that's that story. And I really don't give a damn. That's rich white people problems at the end of the day. I honestly don't give a damn about Ellen DeGeneres at all. Now, I know a lot of you guys are in California. I know a lot of you guys are in California, and you guys has been watching Caitlyn Jenner because she's been running. But Caitlyn Jenner is actually doing horrible in the polls. And you would think as a politician that she would know how to lie and actually tout to the liberal community, because her branding is not smart. She is not smart. She's like, it's not subjective. It's not measurable. It's not attainable. It's not timely. It's stupid. Her branding is stupid. You would think as a politician that she would at least try to lie and say that she is for transgender men playing sports, that she is for gay marriage. Like, you would think that she would try to lie, but she lied on some things. Like, she lied about not voting for Trump, but then the public record shows she said she didn't vote at all. She played golf instead. Like, so, okay, she got that lying part like down to the fact. But people found out about her. She voted for Trump in 2020. So she is down in the polls. She got like 6%. She's down. Nobody want her ass. She thinks she could be a Trump because she had this big business. But unfortunately, baby, like regardless of how you feel about the gay agenda, you're still going to be 6% down. You're still going to be down in the polls. Sean Hannity, these white conservatives are still not going to take you seriously because they're not for you. They're not for transgender rights. So the fact that you are touting their rhetoric, saying that you're a traditionalist, you can't be a traditionalist when you're transgender. That's an oxymoron. That does not make sense. That's moronic to say. You can't say you're not for gay marriage because you are part of the community. You can't say that you are not for transgender men or transgender women. They never talk about trans men, but they always talk about trans women playing in biological women's sports. You can't say that. Now, I'm not for it because I think that's unfair, but I can say that because I personally agree. But she's in a different space because she is that. You see what I mean? And she's actually playing in women's sports as we speak. She's playing golf with women. And she's like the anomaly. Like you are like more, I know she's 70 something years old, but she is more damn like she's a rarity in the sense that she's more skillful in sports than a regular trans man, because a trans woman, because she won the damn Olympics. Okay. So she's like a walking hypocrisy, and people are not stupid. They see that her messaging is bad. You can't say you want to run for governor, a known liberal state That's literally what, #1, the most populous state ever, or I can even say in the world, and tout the shit that you're touting. Like, she's a walking hypocrisy. And that's the whole situation, and that's really all what I have to say about that. So I'm like, I know I have a lot of viewers in California, and you know, like Ms. Banks, I know y'all in California and everything, but she's not winning. And so I was reading, according to Forbes, that some people aren't really for the recall of Gavin Newsom. They're saying only 6% of the 10,289 California voters voted, polled. Okay, only 6% of the 10,289 California voters polled April 29 to May 5th said they supported Jenner, including just 13% of Republicans, okay? Nearly 49% of voters do not want Newsom to be recalled versus 36% who support his recall and 52% approve of his job as governor. Okay, so like this poll, from the looks of it, according to these stats, it's an encouraging sign to Gavin Newsom. And y'all got to give the man a break. I know he had this winery, and I know a lot of businesses was closed, and the thing with Nancy Pelosi happened, but y'all got to understand that this man only been governor for like 18 months. And let's take away the damn pandemic. So let's say this man only been governor for 18 months minus a year, like less than a year. If you take away the pandemics, you can't really do a lot of things in the pandemic. And you have Nancy Pelosi, who also represents California. And y'all could talk about the hair salon, Republican Party, but like, I actually like Nancy Pelosi. I like her. Like, you know, I do. I'm sure she's not pro my people, but, you know, I don't have a problem with her. And I think Gavin Newsom is not doing a terrible job. I talked about it before. Like, he's doing actually a good job. So y'all need to give the man a chance. And Caitlyn Jenner, your messaging is horrible. Like, if you really wanted to be up there in the polls, at least you could try to lie and say, hey, I'm for gay marriage. I'm for trans girls to play in trans sports. I'm for LGBTQIA rights. And she's just a whopping hypocrisy, because the thing in the media was she stopped supporting Trump when Trump said that he was anti-trans and military. I don't even think that was true. I think that was misreported, because she still voted for Trump in 2020, but yet she lied about it. All right, so look, I'm going to give y'all 5 minutes. I'm not giving y'all a lot of time. 5 minutes, meaning if nobody comes on within 5 minutes, that's all I have to say about what I said. It's an hour now. I'm going to read y'all comments, because I haven't looked at your comments at all. Let's see. I just want to go through your comments. If anybody want to come on, I posted in the link. I know I talk too much. Thank you, Gabe. I appreciate it. I'm just trying to see what y'all are saying. Exactly, Marlo. People learned the word narcissist and ran with it. Yeah, she uses it wrong. Like, I hate people, and we're talking about Baby Smith. I hate people that try to appear one way on public image, but behind the scenes, they're full of SHIT. I already told y'all about it. Yeah, I love Sonny Hostin. All right. Okay, so I have Gabe coming on. But look, I just want your comments, and then after that, but make sure you do not say any curse words or nothing. My every teacher told me that over there, women have more power than people think. He told me he knew women who ordered honor. I'm just trying to read y'all comments. All right, so I'm gonna add this one person that want to come on. And if anybody else want to come on, y'all have 5 minutes. If nobody else going to come on, then I'm not. What's up, Gabe? What's your comment, my friend?
What's your problem?
You have any comments towards what I've said?
No.
Thank you, Ms. Banks. I appreciate it. You don't?
Yes, I do. What is your problem?
What you mean, what's my problem?
Don't try to act shady now.
What's my problem? What you mean?
You know you need
you
to
gotta
be
you gotta be you gotta be more, you're on here, you gotta be more direct with what you're asking.
Oh, well, not asking, but telling. You know you need to be liking all my comments.
Yeah, but I don't read them all sometimes. I just like them.
I don't
sometimes
care.
I just like comments.
You don't have to read them all. You just have to like them.
Okay, so what is your question or your comment towards what I said throughout this whole hour?
Well, as far as what's going on with Palestine, free Palestine, it's all about the money. When the girl from the squad, Ilhan Omar. Remember she
Mm-hmm.
said all about the Benjamins and everybody
Mm-hmm.
went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
She was speaking truth because the Israeli lobby is one of the most powerful lobbies uh, in the swamp. Millions and millions of dollars. The
Mm-hmm. You still there? Hello? All right, she's gone. If anybody else don't want to come on, then I'm gonna call it a night. Thank you guys for watching so much so far. Thank you for the support, the good, the bad, the ugly comments. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, Ms. Banks, for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. And